Hello and welcome back to the We Are City channel, and it is Season 3. Season 3 is finally here. There's plenty of stuff to get through at the start of the season, but first let's get through all the contracts. So we decided to speed up the footage of us sorting the contracts out. As you can see there, moving very fast, is Scott Carson. Scott Carson's got only 1 month left on his contract, but we can't renew Scott Carson's contract because he is retiring at the end of the season, unfortunately, so we will be looking for a new third choice goalkeeper. Liam Delap was the first one we got to a new contract. Managed to get him on only a 3-year extension for Liam Delap. I think that took him up to 5 years. That's a 5-year long contract. Of course, extensions are the contract ones this year. Instead of it being a whole contract completely, you do give extensions. Ben Knight's a player that we want to give one to. He's grown by 12 this season. Pedro Porro's had a fantastic season at Sporting Lisbon, and we're looking to get Pedro Porro in the first team, or sort of back up to João Cancelo next season after he played so well for Sporting Lisbon. Taylor Howard-Bellis, another one we couldn't negotiate a contract with him, unfortunately. Diego Rosa, the midfielder, who'd grown also massively to 70 rated. We're looking to try and get Diego Rosa out on loan this season, but another one, and we want to tie down pretty much all our players to long-term contracts. Morgan Rogers, 80 rated, grew by 11 overall while on loan at Getafe, and we're going to try and get him on an extension as well. A lot of them we worked around a while, but we managed to get him to a 5-year deal. No one would sign a 6-year deal. We did try and get players in 6-year deals. It was pretty much impossible after the extension. James McAtee was the next one. Another young lad that we got on a contract extension. And we pretty much give extensions to everyone in the squad, barring a few older players. Jaden Braff was the next one. He was also on a contract extension. What a season Jaden Braff had for us, so we couldn't not give him a contract extension. He also gets up to 5 years. Some of the youth players, we didn't look at doing them straight away because they're not that important. I mean, they're not so highly rated yet, were they, that we need to be worrying about them. Edison was the one where he's 28 years old, but that only takes him to 31 years old, his contract. And if you think about him, he is, you know, Brazil's number one, he's our number one, and at 28 years old, that's plenty of time to grow as a goalkeeper, so we got him on a 5-year deal as well. Zach Steffen I wasn't so sure about. Phil Foden I was definitely sure about. Phil Foden needed a new contract, so we managed to get him on a 3-year extension for Phil Foden, so I think he did sign a 5 or 6-year contract in the end at the club. He saw there 6 years and 1 month for Phil Foden. Issa Kabora I wasn't so sure on. Ante Palaversa I wasn't so sure on. Ferran Torres, of course, we were very sure on. We wanted to give Ferran Torres a new contract, definitely, so we give him a new one, extension for him, also in 6 years and 1 month. So 6 years and 1 month to our two main players for the future, Phil Foden and Ferran Torres. Rodri had an incredible season at centre-back, didn't he? And he moved back into the midfield at the end of it, and he signed another contract extension as well. He's also got 5 years left in his contract. Next was Aymeric Laporte. The same for Laporte. We wanted to get him on a bit of an extension. You know, prolong his time at Manchester City. He's been fantastic for us. Kyle Walker, at his age, 32 years old. I wasn't so sure of Kyle Walker, so we didn't give him a new contract. The same for Bernardo Silva and for Gabriel Jesus. As you can see there, Dylan Barnes, our new third choice goalkeeper, in there. Raheem Sterling was unhappy. We didn't give him one. Tagliafico, Mendy, De Bruyne. Mendy, a player that we're not so sure of either at the moment. Ruben Dias has been fantastic for us this season. I mean, he's 86 rated now. He's probably going to get to 90 rated by the end of maybe this season. He's been fantastic, so we got him in a long-term contract. The same for João Cancelo, the best right-back in the world at the moment, João Cancelo, I think anyway, the best right-wing back on this game. He's crucial to the way we play. We've got no one anywhere near his quality on that right-hand side. Diogo Upamecano was another one. Denis Sakari as well. He'd gone through his injury, so I didn't want to, you know, give him a new contract straight away. Kangin Lee's been good. Tommy Doyle's another one. Benacer. Jack Grealish has been absolutely fantastic in the season, and so has Erling Haaland, and we did go in and give Erling Haaland a new contract. We're going to try and renew him every year pretty much, because the man needs an extension every year. We don't want to ever let his contract run down. He's incredible. I mean, 20 years old, 89 rated, on a 6-year contract along with Foden and Ferran Torres. Those three are the three forwards for the future, and they're going to be at this club for a very, very long time, I'm hoping. Absolutely incredible. Then as for our scouts, we went and put some scouts out as well. We decided where we wanted to go. Thought always England, of course, and maybe to Brazil again. We got some really good players that went from Brazil last time. So the first one was 9 months in England for our Turkish scout, who's got the best experience and judgment. That's why we put him there in England. Then we tried to decide which one to send where. The English scout, we did decide we wanted to send him. I was looking at Africa. I was thinking maybe to send him to Africa, but I thought in the end South America to Brazil and Argentina is probably the way to go. Get some really talented South Americans in the squad. And so we went to Brazil, and then the second one the Irishman. We sent him to Argentina. Can we find our own Lionel Messi? So I think the contract situation is sorted now. Of course, there we have announced a new player. So we are going into a pre-season tournament today. We're going to sim the games, of course, against Beijing and Hyundai and Ajax as well in our group in the pre-season tournament. As you can see, the team there, so many players are out on international duty at the moment. It's really hard to put a team out there of players that we have available. So Barnes, the third choice keeper, starts in goal. We've got Howard, Bellis, Upamecano and Atkins, the back three. Porro at right wing back. Mendy at left wing back. Palaversa and Bernardo Silva in the middle. And then Morgan Rogers, Phil Foden support Liam Delap up top. And it's a 2-1 win. Liam Delap and Bernardo Silva the goals. Delap getting a good goal. Mercer came on for Upamecano at one point. And Walker for Taylor Howard-Bellis. So a few things that will interest you. We've currently got an extra 200 million on the transfer budget. So we've gone from 242 million to 424.4 million in the transfer budget. Not that we intend on spending that amount of money, but it's there in case we need it at any point. We're not looking at making big signings this season. I mean, we just won last season the Champions League and the Premier League. The squad at the moment needs a few tweaks here and there. That's all, really. Gibbons is left on loan. Bobby Gibbons has joined AZ Alkmaar on loan. Duran has left on loan. He's joined Braga on a one-year loan. And Azevedo has joined Portland Timbers on a one-year loan as well. So Ajax next. Same team that's going to go out there against Ajax. And once again, a quick sim with our second team. Many squads are depleted in this pre-season tournament, as you can see, because players are out on international duty. And Foden gets a 28th minute goal and Traore levels in the 73rd minute. That's a 1-1 draw with Ajax. One of the first major signings that we do need to make is Dario Sarmiento. Of course, in real life, Manchester City have signed this young man to join the club at the end of the current season. He will go out on loan for a season, possibly back at Estudiantes. So for us, that's already happened. And we're going to pay his 11.7 million release clause and bring him in, the young Argentinian. And he wants an important squad role. That will not be happening. We're going to say sporadic. Rotation player. Well, I cannot believe this. We're just going to accept it then. He wants to play a lot. I don't think that's going to happen to you. 5-year deal with City. Will we sign Sarmiento? Supposed to be the next Lionel Messi. He's been dubbed as that sort of player. And if we can get him in, we've got lots of talent, haven't we, in the wide positions. But Sarmiento is a youngster who can join the squad for the future and will accept any contract he offers. City have signed him in real life, so we've signed him on the game now. And Dario Sarmiento is a Manchester City player. 71 rated, the young Argentinian. Like we said, dubbed the next Lionel Messi, and possibly he could become that for us. We're going to train him as an inverted winger. Sarmiento in real life is actually left-footed and plays on the right, so we're going to try and improve his weak foot, try and get him to 5-star weak foot, and then we will train him to be a right winger. And like we said, dub the next Lionel Messi. And after that first signing that we've made, which is sort of not really a major signing, whether we make any major signings is another question. But we're going to have a look at our squad, how it looks at the moment, and how we want it to look at the end of the transfer window. So looking at this graphic now, this is how our sort of team looks if you're going to pick out 3 players in each position. Of course, when you think about each player in each position, we are missing a few players. If you think Duran, Palaversa, who's been out on loan, James McAtee, there's a lot of midfielders missing there, and we've already got 2 midfielders, I think, for a 2-man field. But this is what we've got with. So, of course, Scott Carson is already gone. Dylan Barnes has come in to replace him as our third choice goalkeeper. You can see there we've got great depth, haven't we, really? Issa Kabore probably needs to go out on loan somewhere. Gibbons, Bellis and Howard-Bellis and Carter Atkins also need to go out on loan somewhere. We don't need that many centre-backs, especially if we're going to switch to a full-back every now and again. Angelino we want rid of, and we've got too many left-backs. Benjamin Mendy we're not so sure on. Kangin, Ling and Ajari also in the midfield, like we said. Palaversa, Tommy Doyle, Fabrizio Duran, plenty of central midfielders, so we're a bit stacked in the midfield as well, like we said, the 2-man midfield. The wings, also too many players. I mean, Mahrez, Foden and Sterling for the right-hand side choices. Grealish, Ferran Torres and Jaden Braff for the left-hand side choices. That's just too many wingers, isn't it? And for striker, Hall and Jesus and Chimi Avalon. Of course, Liam Delap making massive progress. We said we're probably going to make him third choice striker this season. Sorry. So if we are going to make him that, then we need to get rid of one of them players. And of course, I think Chimi Avalon is the one to get rid of. So this is how we're probably going to try and make the squad look next season. You see their new goalkeeper, the three players we want to sign, 3 positions that we think are integral for this season. Just a few little tweaks, more backups more than anything, because the squad is pretty much finished off, isn't it? So a new goalkeeper, and we've already made that signing in Dylan Barnes just before the season signed on the free transfer. A new centre-back, we need a new centre-back to come in and play as a backup in the middle, as a ball-playing centre-back, because we are going to move Rodri back into the middle. And that means we are going to have to lose one of the midfielders, possibly at some point, but I'm not quite sure yet. Of course, for holding midfield, we've got Rodri, Benacer and Zakaria. All three of them are not all going to get game time, although Dennis Zakaria's been through an injury, hasn't he, at the moment. He is the third choice, but we know how good Zakaria can be, and Zakaria can also play centre-back, so do we need a centre-back? I still think that a centre-back is a good option. For right-back, we've replaced Kabore. I think we'll get Kabore out either on a permanent transfer or on a loan and then bring him back in the future if he impresses. With Pedro Porro, who's had a fantastic season out at Sporting Lisbon on loan. Liam Delap's going to move into that striker role instead of Chimi Avila. And you see the wing positions, something to mention, apart from the new centre-back, a new left wing-back. We're going to look for a sort of younger left wing-back, I think, to back up to Tagliafico, who then will overtake him. The wing positions is very important. Jack Grealish, Braff, and of course Morgan Rogers has come back from his loan. He's 80 rated. He's the same rating as Jayden Braff. And the young Englishman probably deserves a chance. He can play as a sort of attacking midfielder as well, or as a striker. And he can play in the midfield as well, but the midfield's stacked anyway. And we're looking to get Kangin Lee probably out on loan. Keep Ajari, if anyone, as a third choice, fourth choice, fifth choice midfielder. Duran's going to go out on loan. I think he's already agreed a loan, hasn't he? Maybe Tommy Doyle can play in and about sometimes as well, but a loan for Doyle would also be quite good. One thing to notice there is that the starting wingers are Grealish and Ferran Torres. No Raheem Sterling. Big news Raheem Sterling wise, because he sent us an email just at the start of this episode that we need to look into. So this is the email that Raheem Sterling has sent to us at the club, and it is, I'd say disappointing, but I can understand the point Sterling is making. So he came to us, and this is exactly what Sterling has said to us, the boss Julian Nagelsmann. He said, "Boss, I've been thinking, and I think it's time for me to leave the club. I've achieved all I can at this club, and I'm grateful to you, the club, and the fans. My agent tells me there is interest from Real Madrid, a dream move for me. If an offer comes in, please will you and the club accept it? Thanks." So it's totally understandable from Raheem Sterling. If Real Madrid are interested in him, he's saying he wants to leave, he wants to join Real Madrid. That means he's probably not going to be involved this season, and the chances are he's not going to be part of the club anymore. It's a massive miss because Sterling's been fantastic, a great servant for this club. He scored the most important goal maybe in the club's recent history with that goal in the Champions League final. And we had three options. One that had run up the wrong way, which was, no, you have a contract, honour it. Another one that said, me and the club will discuss this matter. I'll discuss the matter. And the one that we went with was, yes, thank you for your service. I think, Sterling's earned the right to decide what he wants to do with the club after that important goal against PSG in the Champions League final. And if he wants to join Real Madrid, I mean, it's a massive move. I think, to move to Spain, it's something that not many English players get to do. Sterling himself has said in the past that he wants to join Real Madrid, so we're going to let him do that. If an offer comes in, that is. Tommy Doyle has completed his development from a central midfielder to defensive midfielder, and he doesn't grow any actually, which is disappointing. He's still at 69 rated. We probably will send him back to a central midfield. I was hoping it would improve his defensive stats, which he has done. But if we go back to centre midfielder now, 8 weeks, hopefully that improves some more stats of his. And the final game of the pre-season tournament group stage, that is, will be against Beijing, which again we will sim the game with the same squad. Actually, I'm thinking of putting Tommy Doyle in there, giving him a chance instead of the side Ante Palversa, and see how Tommy Doyle does. And we pick up a 3-1 win. Benjamin Mendy, Foden, and who was the other one? Phil Foden got the goal in the 2nd minute. And then we scored another one with Phil Foden and Benjamin Mendy after that to get a 3-1 win in this game against Beijing. We've been trying to get the pre-season tournament out of the way, and we've got a semi-final here against Atalanta. Again, we'll play the same sort of side and hopefully pick up the win to get to the final. We're not looking to play the final at any point, we're just trying to get through this. And as you can see in that Atalanta side, they've got Ben Yedder on the left-hand side off a front three, which is dangerous. And a 3-3 draw ends with a 4-3 defeat on penalties, so we're out of the pre-season tournament. That doesn't matter, it's just some game time for the players, for sort of fringe players, especially with the first teamers all the way on international duty. Dennis Zakaria's returned from his injury, so that's good that he's going to be back for possibly the start of the season after that injury at the end of last season. And Taylor Howard-Bellis is a loan offer for a 1-year loan deal for Taylor Howard-Bellis to Brentford. Now it's loan to buy. We'll just have a look at this. I don't think we want to sell him at the end of the loan, do we really? We're going to go with a 1-year loan for Taylor Howard-Bellis. I think a 1-year loan will suit him, and hopefully he can continue his development to a 70-plus rated defender next season. Well, obviously, as you've seen by the squad and where we want the squad to be, we do need to sell before we can buy, before we even look at maybe replacing some players in the squad. There's a few players we think we could get rid of that we don't want to get rid of maybe, or we're not quite sure about. One thing, is to be sure. We've got too many players, and we first need to move on a lot before we actually bring any players in. So we will be moving on players before we make any signings in this transfer window. If we make any at all, it all depends on the offers we receive for players. Taylor Howard-Bellis, the loan has been accepted to Brentford, so Taylor Howard-Bellis will be moving there. And of course, the news about Raheem Sterling wanting to join Real Madrid is something that's hit us pretty hard. We did have an offer from Paris Saint-Germain for him, which we have rejected because Sterling has told us to reject that move. He wants only to move to Real Madrid, and if they make an offer for him, then we're probably going to have to accept it. Well, this is a transfer offer that I never expected to get. We were expecting the Real Madrid offer to come in for Raheem Sterling at some point. Of course, they are still negotiating, I think, between the agent of what sort of offer to offer us as a club for Raheem Sterling. But Real Madrid have come in for another player before that, and it's Chimi Avila. They have come in for Chimi. They've offered 30 million. We'll negotiate. I'm happy to sell Chimi because, as we've said, we want to bring in Liam Delap as our third choice striker this season. Delap will be playing a lot more. So if Chimi Avila wants to move to Real Madrid, that's a big move for him, isn't it? A really big move. And they must want a second choice forward, a third choice forward. He's been good for us. We're happy to sell him. Let's see how much they'd be willing to take for Chimi Avila. We'll say 34 million. We'll actually make money on what we paid for him. And they're happy to take that 34 million, so it could be that Chimi Avila joins Real Madrid. And we could be losing two players to Real Madrid in this transfer window if the offer eventually does come in for Raheem Sterling. Well, we've received an offer from Strasbourg. It's a 2-year loan for Ante Palversa, which we will accept. We can always, put a clause in there that we can recall him after 1 year if he is playing so well. But we'll accept that in the French league for Palversa. That would be a really good move for him, I think, if he accepts that move. And another one is Riyad Mahrez. Arsenal have come in for Mahrez. Now, I don't particularly want to sell Mahrez to a rival, if I'm honest. But if they make a good enough offer, I think we'll have to accept it. Mahrez needs game time. Mahrez wants to leave the club, I think, for game time, knowing that we're not going to give it him this season. He's 31 now. Let's see what we can get out of Arsenal in this deal. We'll see if Arsenal are ready to pay 46 million for Riyad Mahrez. He's worth around 40. He's still 85 rated at 31 years of age. I think for him to play three Premier League clubs would be, something that he'd be happy with. They're saying 42.3. We'll see if we can bump this up. Of course, City paid 60 million for Riyad Mahrez, so it'd be nice to recoup some of that money. 44 million. They're definitely on 42.3. We'll accept that. Riyad Mahrez is not going to play this season. Mahrez moving to Arsenal. Thank you very much for all he's done for the club, Riyad Mahrez. But a move to Arsenal, I think, will suit him. Another rival club to pick him up as well. Well, a couple of email confirmations here. Ante Palversa. Palversa has gone on a 2-year loan to Strasbourg in France, and hopefully that can get him the game time he needs to really progress in his career. And if he comes back as an 80 rated player, he will be used in our team. Riyad Mahrez, his representative agreed personal terms with Arsenal, so Riyad Mahrez will be joining Arsenal, so his third Premier League club, from Leicester to Manchester City to Arsenal. I think he will suit Arsenal. I think Mikel Arteta, to bring in a player that he knows very well in Riyad Mahrez, will suit Arsenal very well, and he could be very good for Arsenal. I mean, I know he's 31, but he's still got a lot in him. And Chimi Avila has moved to Real Madrid, so Avila, a player that was very good for us, really, wasn't he? A bit part player, but he did his job when he came into the squad as a third choice striker. And he's moved to Real Madrid. What a move that is. Back to Spain for him. And to one of the biggest clubs in Spain is a massive achievement for Chimi Avila. Well, after a sale of a few players and the fact that Rodri is now a midfielder again, we are on the market for a centre-back. And I think what is more suitable than to bring this man back, John Stones. I know we sold him, probably unfairly sold John Stones. He wasn't great for us, was he, really, all the time. But John Stones is a player that I think we should bring back. I think you guys, we've seen the Twitter vote, we'll pull it up now. You guys voted to bring John Stones back. You want John Stones back at the club because you know the quality he has in real life. Him and Ruben Diaz are the two best defenders in the league at the moment, you could say. And I think you've got to bring John Stones back, haven't you? So we will try and bring him back. Try and bring him back in the cheap as well. He's not been in great form for Villa. He's not even been playing for Villa. 81 rated, 28 years old, English centre-back. He'll be great at the club. And after John Stones does leave, I want to bring in this man. This man is the future of the club, I think. Charisma. A centre-back who is a Rolls Royce of a centre-back, this young man. And he has to be the John Stones replacement in the future. I just don't think he's ready. I want to give him a chance to develop at Sporting Lisbon before we bring him in. So we'll bring in John Stones for a few years and then look for Charisma. Or even, another centre-back could leave to bring in Charisma. But John Stones, we're going to try and bring him back. I think we'll just go in with a transfer fee and see if they'll accept the 19 million for John Stones to return to the club. And they've accepted that, so 19 million is enough to bring John Stones back to the Etihad. I think it's the right thing to do, isn't it? we were too quick to sell him. He's turned into a superstar in real life, and he's going to have a long-term future at Manchester City. I think he deserves one, so we've got to give it to him, haven't we? That'll take until he's 32 years old. He doesn't want a release clause in his contract, which is understandable. We'll remove that bonus. See if he'll take this deal. And he will. So John Stones returns to Manchester City. He turned around his career in real life, and he's turned around his career in this career mode because we're bringing him back to the Etihad. Well, Burnley have come to us and they've asked for Diego Rosa on a 1-year loan. We're going to see if we can negotiate a 2-year loan to Burnley. Burnley have been doing really well this season. Of course, they won, well, last season it was now. They won the Carabao Cup, so Sean Dyche is doing a really good job with them. And we're going to propose a 2-year loan and see if they're happy to take him on that. We're happy to pay his wages, that doesn't matter. Diego Rosa is going to go on a 2-year loan to Burnley, playing Premier League football week in, week out. What a move that is for him and his Manchester City future. So Pedro Silveira is a Brazilian. He's got a potential of 94. He's got some good stats, hasn't he, really, for a youngster. 57 rated, but this man, Ellis Harrington, is already 67 rated at 17. He's 5'6", he's a left winger centre mid. What a signing he could be for the future. We've just got so many good players coming through the youth system, haven't we? So many good young players at the moment. Big one next because it's the Community Shield against Liverpool. Probably a title rival again this season in Liverpool. A side that we need to play well against. You can see their top signings. Brandt has joined Real Madrid for 130 million. Casemiro has moved to Manchester United from Real Madrid for 78 million. And Emerson has joined Spurs for 65.5 million. That Casemiro move may fund Raheem Sterling's move for may fund Real Madrid's move for Raheem Sterling. So this is the squad we're going to go with today. A bit of a weaker side, maybe you could say, but that's how we're going to go with it. Stefan starts in goal. John Stones makes his debut back at the club with Diaz and Laporte in the back three. Stones will take the number 5 shirt back, and Upamecano will wear the number 19 shirt for this season. Pedro Porro makes his Manchester City debut at right wing back. Tagliafico at left wing back. Rodri and De Bruyne in the middle, and then Foden and Torres support Liam Delap, who starts up top today, making a big start in a big game. Erling Haaland's on the bench along with Grealish, Bernardo Silva, Dennis Zakaria, Upamecano, Walker, and we're going to take Edison out and put on our new third choice goalkeeper, Barnes. So we're back at Wembley, Manchester City versus Liverpool for the FA Cup Community Shield Trophy, or whatever you want to call it. The Charity Shield, they do call it. Manchester City versus Liverpool. Liverpool won the FA Cup, of course, last season. We won the Premier League. We beat them to it. We also beat mainly Manchester United to that Premier League trophy, however. And that's the trophy that's online today, the Community Shield. So it's Alisson in goal, a back four of Alexander-Arnold, Felipe, Van Dijk and Robertson, Fabinho, Kroos and Thiago in the middle. And then Mane and Salah with Roberto Firmino up top. So not many changes to the Liverpool side, apart from they've improved the defence and the midfield massively. John Stones back at the club. He plays in central defence with Ruben Diaz and Aymeric Laporte. So Manchester City versus Liverpool. And it's live from Wembley Stadium. Laporte. Good clearance. Up to Delap. Down to Varane. Into Liam Delap. Oh, he's away from Matip. Delap! Oh, and he's put his shot wide. Big chance for Liam Delap there to score. Maybe Varane has better crossing than Kevin De Bruyne now, but I can't imagine that. Oh, Pedro Porro has made a great run. Porro. What a ball to Foden, and Phil Foden on this left wing makes it 1-0. 13 minutes in. Pedro Porro, very good debut at the moment. Wonderful cross. And that's why we've brought him back as our second choice right back this season behind João Cancelo. Because he had such a great season at our club that we have a partnership with. Sporting Lisbon in Portugal, got plenty of assists, didn't he? 2 goals as well, and what a cross. This is João Cancelo-esque. And if we've got a backup who's just as good as João Cancelo and Pedro Porro, we have got plenty of options, haven't we, on that right-hand side, really. And we were playing the likes of Bernardo Silva as a right-wing back at times last season. And we did play Issa Kabore, he just wasn't good enough. We're trying to loan Issa Kabore out before the end of the transfer window. And we lead 1-0 here against Liverpool, though, in the final, the Charity Shield. Phil Foden with a goal and Pedro Porro with his first assist on his debut. De Bruyne. Out wide to Foden again. On the counter, we look dangerous. Foden, Delap, little back heel to De Bruyne. We then sends in Varane. And it's Ferran Torres on this right-hand side. Ferran Torres makes it 2-0. We are battering Liverpool here with a less than strong side. No Erling Haaland in the squad today. He's on the bench. No Gabriel Jesus even. 2-0 we lead Liverpool at Wembley. It's a really good finish by Varane. I always backed him to finish that actually, once I saw him go through. On the right hand side, no Riyad Mahrez of course. He has moved to Arsenal and no Raheem Sterling at the moment. We're trying to sort out his future. He's asked for a move to Real Madrid. Real Madrid are yet to make a bid for him, but may mean that Ferran Torres is our starting right winger now, which isn't too much of a bad thing, is it? Alexander-Arnold, space in this right hand side. So Salah. Oh, great pass down the line. Here's Mo Salah. Mo Salah! And somehow it's not going in. I don't know if Stefan saved it or Diaz has blocked it. I think Ruben Diaz blocked that. Point blank range. Brilliant block by the defender. Swung in by Salah. Mane makes a really good header. Really good header by Mane. Laporte wasn't across. Laporte really wasn't across quick enough. Glancing header by Mane. Makes it 2-1. Liverpool back in the game. We know we can score goals. It's defensive we need to improve. Confident. Then to De Bruyne. Oh, he's tackled. Robertson. Oh, and De Bruyne's picked up an injury. That doesn't look good. The start of the season, and Zach Steffen catches it. Flicks it over to Rodri. Oh, Liverpool are going to score it. Sadio Mane makes it 2-all. Mistake by us. De Bruyne is still sat on the floor. Really tested his ankle here. 2-all just before half time. Steffen's fault that. And mine partly for throwing it out there. I think we're just going to play the long ball against this Liverpool side. We really have. Mane gets his second of the game. 2-all. Kevin De Bruyne has got an injury that might force him off. Probably will force him off at half time. And that is half time. Manchester City 2, Liverpool 2. We were 2-0 up. We've thrown it away 2-all. And Liverpool, good performance from them really, isn't it? And after they went 2-0 down, good response from them. Sadio Mane with a double. Well, half-time substitution. Off comes Kevin De Bruyne. On comes Bernardo Silva for the injured Kevin De Bruyne. Didn't really have any other options but to bring Bernardo on. De Bruyne looked like he wasn't going to recover from the injury he'd picked up. Here's the lap. Firmino, good block by Stones. Well played. Here's Porro. Varane. Oh, he's done well, Varane. The lap. Lays it off to Bernardo. I nearly said Greenwood, and I don't know why. And Bernardo's played in. Phil Foden. Who goes across the box to Liam Delap. And Liam Delap gets his goal. 3-2. Well, if Liam Delap's on the pitch, he tends to get a goal. And he's got one here. 3-2, we lead Liverpool. Can't help himself, Liam Delap, but score. Great cross by Foden between the legs of Arnold. The lap ahead of Virgil van Dijk. Shows his quality as a forward. And he's just, I mean, off his thigh. Any little touch he knows will put it in past Alisson. Signs of a very good centre forward there, the young Englishman. Another goal for Liam Delap. First of the season for him though. Can't get away from Mo Salah. Porro, what a tackle by the young fullback. And into Porro. Porro, what a ball by Pedro Porro. Tagliafico. Haaland. Oh, he's turned him. Haaland. Oh, it's a good save by Alisson. Really good play. I think Foden for Grealish, actually. We won't bring Rodri on, although we might have unlimited subs in this game. Not sure. It's a good shot by Haaland to get one off there. Off comes Foden, on comes Jack Grealish. Are we allowed to make another change? That is the question, because I would take Rodri off or Dennis Zakaria if there's unlimited subs in this game. There is unlimited subs, so Zakaria is going to come on as well for Rodri. Bit more pace, a bit more athleticism in that midfield. I think a Rodri Zakaria double pivot is one for the future as well. Something we can use this season. Well, Laporte's in there. You can't leave Aymeric Laporte in that sort of space, but he's knocked it over the bar. Oh, poor pass again. Create our own problems at the moment. Firmino. Good ball. Salah. Salah! What a save, Zach Steffen. What a save by Zach Steffen. He's too good for a second choice goalkeeper, this man. What a save this is. Fingertips, tips it over the bar from very close range. I think Firmino's off. Vardy's on. Knocked away. And that's a goal kick. Our defence isn't moving for him. Good interception by that man again, Aymeric Laporte. Hence why he got a new contract. He's been fantastic, Laporte. Then he lays it off to Haaland. And Erling Haaland does what Erling Haaland always does. Erling Haaland scores. 4-2 we lead Liverpool now. And that's game over, surely. Great goal by Erling Haaland. It's Aymeric Laporte stepping up into midfield, winning the ball, laying it off to Haaland. The power in that shot from Erling Haaland was no stopping it, was there? No stopping that for Alisson. His first goal of the year, of the season. Joe Gomez is on for Felipe. I'm surprised Gomez didn't start really, but like us, they've gone for a rotated side. Haaland, well played. Zakaria. What a ball, Denis Zakaria to Pedro Porro. Porro. Bernardo! Oh, he's put it wide, Bernardo Silva. Porro's been really good on this right-hand side, hasn't he, the full-back. Bernardo just couldn't get a full touch on it to knock it in. If it was Haaland, it was in the back of the net. Zakaria in there. Grealish, oh, he nicks it. Grealish nicks it. And then plays Haaland. Haaland! Oh, I thought he was going in the top corner. We're going to bring Walker on at right wing back since Porro's so tired. He's not far wide by Erling Haaland. I genuinely thought that was whistling into the top corner. Long to Haaland, up against Van Dijk. He loses that battle. Vardy. Saul. Oh, nearly a big tackle out from Meccano. Here's Jota. Mane. Up against John Stones. And well played, John Stones. Not a bad day. You give it away early on, Stones. But been better since then. Oh, he's give it away again here, though. To Jota. Oh, and he's won it back. He's played it out to Varane brilliantly, and that is full time. Manchester City 4, Liverpool 0, and Julian Nagelsmann's side winning another trophy. We're going to see the players step up and lift the trophy, and Kevin De Bruyne, of course, injured, and he's not come back on to lift the trophy, I don't think. So Nicolas Tagliafico took the armband for the rest of the game. De Bruyne is there at the back. We're going to let Tagliafico lift it. A big leader in the dressing room, this young man. But not young anymore. He's like the young Pablo Zabaleta to me. Manchester City Charity Shield winners 2022. Kevin De Bruyne is out for 3 months. Fantastic. So that means a lot of players are going to get a chance in this team because no Kevin De Bruyne now. That's a massive shame. Diego Rossa has moved to Burnley on a 2-year loan, and we've got a squad report on the youth players currently in the squad. Silveira, 77 to 94, and Harrington, 82 to 94. Both left footers, both look really good, don't they? Harrington's more of a physical player. Silveira more technically blessed, I think. Oh no, in fact, it's the opposite. Well, we said we wanted to bring in a fullback who's got a bit more speed about him, a bit more, pace, and the one that stands out to me is, of course, Jose Gaya. He's been incredible, hasn't he? But he's 27 years old now, and I think we're looking for someone younger. So the man I think we are going to go for, we're going to use our sort of partnership with Sporting Lisbon and bring in this man, Nuno Mendes, a young Portuguese fullback. He's 20 years old. He's got good scout reports on him. We can pick him up for around 26 million, they say. And that'd be a really good signing for us at left back. Well, in the Nuno Mendes deal, we're going to see if they want Issa Kabore on loan for the rest of the season. We hear they are interested in a right wing back after we had Pedro Porro on loan from us. So how about Issa Kabore plus Nuno Mendes? And they want Issa Kabore plus around 19.5 million. And we'll just bring this down, I think, to 19 million. And to get Nuno Mendes plus Issa Kabore to go there and play a lot of game time, hopefully, as their new right wing back. Like Pedro Porro, maybe he can come back in the future, like Porro, and be a second choice, maybe even first choice of the club after João Cancelo. So Nuno Mendes for Issa Kabore, and that's a deal done. 19 million plus Issa Kabore on loan. So Mendes will be a rotation fullback. He will play as the backup to Tagliafico. We're hoping Benjamin Mendy does leave. He's happy with that. He wants a 3-year contract. Well, we'll give him a 4-year one. He's only 20 years old, the young left back, left wing back, which suits us perfectly. And wage-wise, he wants us to discuss his wages. and we'll make him an offer of 35,000, I think, a week, and see if Nuno Mendes is interested in that. He's happy with that, so we sign a new left back. It's Nuno Mendes. Of course, with Nuno Mendes joining, he will wear the shirt number he wore at Sporting Lisbon, the number 35, and that means that Benjamin Mendy, we're going to have to try and let him go. And of course, Angelino's still here as well, wants to leave. We've still not been able to get rid of him. No one is yet to make an offer. And that's going to end today's episode, the first episode of Season 3. 2 new signings we set it off with, and silverware, a win over Liverpool in the Charity Shield. And if you like the video, then drop a like in the video. Please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers, and we'll see you next time.